Welcome once again to Belfast and the final to decide who will be the United Kingdom's strongest man for 2007. The action has been dramatic so far. Let's look back. Well, two groups started out at the beginning of this competition. Jay Hughes, Glenn Ross, Rob Frampton and Lewis McLean are through to the final from Group A. And then we'll move on now to Group B. Jimmy Marcoux, David Mere, Simon Flint and Rich Gorvin through from Group B. They're the 8 finalists on duty today. Well, Rob Frampton, the stone man from Titchfield in Hampshire, Portsmouth's strongest man this year, going very well at the moment. 23 stone, 6 feet tall. Lewis McLean, the next up from Fort William. He's 35, he's a builder, and was third in Scotland's strongest man this year. He's 6 feet 2, 19 stone, 52-inch chest. There's some big fellas around here. Jay Hughes, how well is he going? Hughes then, Hollywood so-called, second in the Southern Counties Championship this year. There's much more expected from him here. But Glenn Ross is the defending champion. The big fella, he won in 2004 and again last year, the daddy of them all. Under pressure though at the moment. So Dave Mere, the next man up, he's a big man too and should feature from Tamworth in Staffordshire. 24 stone of him at 6 feet, 57-inch chest. And then Simon Flint. Flint has gone well. He had one poor performance in one of the events, but he's a qualifier. And at 21 stone and 6'4", watch out for him too. Jimmy Marcoux has been a real celebrity here. Terrific character, England's strongest man 2006 and this year. Only 5'11", 21 stone, but a real dynamic competitor. Jimmy Marcoux is followed by Richard Gorvin. Gorvin has gone well, particularly towards the end, from Wimborne in Dorset. He's only been training for 10 months, but watch out for him. First up, the car flip. Let's hear about the rules from Gary once again.
This is quite simple. The athlete has to roll the car through 360 degrees twice and then sprint for the line. Once again, it's the fastest man wins.
Well, they'll go off in pairs as well, and really this is quite challenging. It demands tremendous strength and athleticism too, so it's not just the big strong people that are going to win this, and it's the turning twice that makes this difficult. It really is. They'll go off in pairs, as I said. The first pair, Lewis McLean and Rob Frampton coming up. There's McLean on the near side. Rob Frampton now, of course, the two pools down to 4 in each have come together for the finals, as you've seen, and now we'll see what Rob Frampton can do. He's a big fella.
Yeah, what they have to do now is really, on the first pull the car as fast they can onto its roof, push it over onto its wheels, run round the other side and do the same back to the line.
What do you reckon? Which part of this would you think is the most difficult?
The first part, to get the momentum going of the car. Once you've got that, the car will roll. That's the most difficult.
Well, this is pretty good, isn't it? I mean, they've had engines taken out, I take, or they?
No, that is the full car. The only thing that's taken out are the glass in the windows.
Well, that's pretty fast indeed there, isn't it, from Lewis McLean and Rob Frampton. McLean, well, Frampton at 21.22 and Lewis McLean coming in at 31.50 there. So that's the start, that's the target. Let's have a little bit look at the technique here.
Yeah, Rob did well. He managed to get that first pull fast and then just pushed it through. And he showed a good bit of sprint at the end there as well.
Yeah, Lewis had a little bit of a hold up here, didn't he? Just let the momentum of the car drop, so he had to overcome its inertia again. That's difficult.
Yeah, the car came back down him slightly, so that was a double pull, and that would slowed him down quite a lot.
As Richard Gorvin comes forward, he'll be partnered with Dave Mere. Let me tell you that Frampton's time 21.22 and Lewis McLean 31.50. So, but this is Dave Mere. 24 stoner. He's a big fella, but he's been doing quite well, qualified quite comfortably for this final. And from Tamworth, been training for 10 years, a big powerlifter incidentally. Just under 1,000 kilograms is total on the powerlifting. Now then, here we go. Gorvin on the near side, really motoring now. The idea, of course, as we've said before, this is Mir, is to keep the momentum of the car going. You have to run right around the other side, overcome its inertia, roll it quickly, keep it rolling, and then run past the line. And that was a very, very good performance by Dave Mir in particular. And his time coming up at 18.17. Gorvin 20.63. Have another look at this. Gorvin on the near side, just having a little bit of a problem there. Just not quite the fluency that we saw from Dave Mir. Mir really powering that car into action. And then look at this, hits it high, then runs. Once it's balanced, overbalanced, he can run. Well, they're just putting the, as you can see, the car back into position. They've got engines, that's a totally loaded car. They're both the same, slightly different design, but they're both the same. They toss up at the beginning, decide which car they're going to... Oh, here it is now. The Jimmy Marcoux appearing first. Marcoux won the second of our groups against Simon Flint. Flint, who had a bit of a problem in qualifying early on, but qualified in the end quite comfortably. There you go. Jimmy Marcoux has picked his car. Well, Dave Mir has set a pretty tough target, hasn't he, at 18.17. Wonder what Jimmy Marcoux will do. He's demonstrated terrific athleticism, and Simon Flint also is looking very, very good indeed. These two absolutely neck and neck at the moment, and that is quick. And Flint just beats Marcoux, and Flint's time under 16, it's 15.50. That's pretty useful. Jimmy Marcoux 16.31. Well, that's pretty tough. So they're the fastest two times. Absolutely. Look at this, the momentum he's achieving with that. And then actually he was a bit late even making his run, lost his hat. He's a bit late making his run for the line. He could have been even quicker than that, but 15.50, he'll take a lot of beating. Well, Glenn Ross and Jay Hughes, the final pairing then in this first event. Jay Hughes has had a pretty good time coming out on top in the first group. A very strong finish to his day in qualification. But Glenn Ross, there's the toss again. Doesn't have this car, it doesn't matter to me, he says. But I just wonder how much athleticism we shall see from Glenn Ross. He's been looking a bit tired. He was fifth in the last two events in his qualification, although he qualified quite comfortably. And look at this. Ross is absolutely flying at the moment, but so is Hughes, and Hughes just behind Ross. Look at Ross. Ross is going very strongly, and actually Hughes waited far too long there, and Ross's time, let's just have a look at it, 16.98. It's the third fastest. Jay Hughes at 18.97, and I reckon that makes him fifth fastest. Just a little look again at this. Really motors to get that going, doesn't he? Look at that continuity of movement. As soon as the card reached the high point, over it went. There's the difference, look, you can see from that shot. In fact, technically Hughes was at fault there. But Flint, look, leads it, 15.50. He's got 8 points from Marcoux on 7, Ross on 6, Mir on 5. Well, first blood then to Simon Flint, but next the brick deadlift. Let's take a break. Welcome back. Well, the competition has started off with a vengeance, certainly, with Simon Flint managing to come out on top after the first event of this final. It's been a pretty tough challenge for him, but there he is. There's the man who toppled the cars and got the fastest time, and he takes the lead. It's event 2 now. It's the brick deadlift. What about this one, Gary?
Yeah, this is quite simple, just like a normal deadlift. Bricks are put into a crate. The crate's on a chain. The chain is on a bar. The lifter has to just stand up straight and hold it till the referee gives his down signal. The weight will go up by bricks at a time until the person who can lift the most wins.
Well, let me update you a little bit on this. The first 8 competitors, all 8 competitors in fact, lifted 252 kilograms, which is the deadlift total. And now this is the first attempt at 276. The increase is 24 kilograms. Lewis McLean is the first to go through. There it is. There are the bricks. And this is a deadlift. This is for the power lifters, really. And McLean lifted that quite comfortably, so he's successful. The only problem is for these fellas that, having a look at this, that it goes up to 300 kilograms after this, which is pretty tough. It really is. Now, next up, Rob Frampton. Now, Rob is a big fella, and he is a power lifter as well, so he's had a little bit of an injury problem.
When you're ready, lift.
But let's see what he can do. He'll lift his head, he'll get his back straight, he'll squat into this and then extend his legs. His arms will be passive. He's going to hold that. That's good. The lift is adjudged to be good. So that's 276 kilograms for Rob. Have another look at this. This is it's a personal thing, that. Now then, Jay Hughes has had a very, very good qualification for this final. And I just wonder whether he will perform as well. He's not made a big impact in the world of strongmen thus far, but this is a big breakthrough for him, really.
Straighten up, straighten up. Good lift, down.
Yeah, he's straightened up, and it is a very good lift indeed. So he's got a 276 to his credit. Look at this. Just uses his back mainly on that. The difficulty is the taller men will be able to use their legs on this a little bit to overcome its inertia. The shorter ones, the bar is long enough for them, they just have to straighten up their back, really. Have a look at this. There, a little bit of leg movement in that. Straighten up now. He's got to straighten up, but is he going to do this?
Down, good lift.
Yes, he is, Dave Meir. Very good lift indeed. 276 to him. So only Richard Gorvin in trouble on this weight thus far. Incidentally, Glenn Ross has passed at this weight, the defending champion. Jimmy Marcoux here. Oh, there's no call from the...
lift, Jimmy. Failed.
He said no lift. Well, that's very, very unlucky. Now that's a big, big problem. Let's have a look at this. Doesn't quite get upright, does he? No, that judgment's right. Doesn't quite get upright. And now Simon Flint has passed as well. And we're going now to 300 kilograms. And this is Lewis McLean. Well, this is really going to be very testing. He's got 276 to his credit. But this is tough. Now, will he get upright? He can't get upright. No. He's gone on that one. So he's got a 276. He's got to be in the upright position. There, he's still arched. That back is still arched. Nothing straight about that. Rob Frampton then. Another one at 300. Rob, what can you do here? He's got his 276. 2 successful lifts so far. 252, 276. He's only struggled. No, he said. So he's gone. He's out. 276 for him. And there are going to be a lot of tied places in this second discipline. There really are. Now then, Jay Hughes, what can you do in this?
Lift.
No, it's not moving, is it? It is not moving. Come on, it's not moving. It's not moving. No. So Jay Hughes fails on that one. So his total is 276. There are going to be a lot of shared points on this one, I reckon. Dave Meir, not a big fella. Now then, well, using the alternate grip this time, gripping very wide on the bar. Look at this. Each to their own. No, he says, no, I can't do that either. So 300 kilograms really beating them all. No one has achieved this yet. Now then, is this a chance for Glenn Ross to make a little bit of a comeback here? He needs the full quota of points. And if he were to get it, he would find that others will be tying points. Also the alternate grip. Very wide on that bar. Now then, what can he do? Oh, yes. Very, very strong indeed. So he's the only one thus far. Glenn Ross at 300 kilograms. That is not going to be beaten. Simon Flint surely passed at 276, but this is a big ask. It really is. He won the first event. Ooh, he's not bad. He's got it moving. Can he straighten up? He can't straighten up. And that's it. He's gone. He passed at 276, and that may well have been an error, really. He probably felt he could do 300 a day, but there it is. Glenn Ross, 8 points, and the rest sharing. Look at that, 4 on 5.5, and then the rest on 2s. So overall then, Glenn Ross moves into the lead, 14 points. Dave Meir, 10.5. Simon Flint, 10 in third. Well, it's on to the stone and anchor now. What about this one, Gary? It looks a little bit interesting, this one.
Yeah, this is a very difficult one. The athlete has to lift up a big stone, run 15 metres with it put onto a barrel, then run back down the course, pick hold of a handle of a 360 kilo anchor and drag it back 15 metres. This is a test of endurance like nothing else. Fastest man wins.
Well, this is all in pairs. Rich Gorvin on the near side, then Lewis McLean along with him, so there'll be a competitive element in this, of course, against each other as well as against the clock. They've got to get this stone, carry it 100 and or carry it 15 metres, put it on the barrel, and then they've got to drag the anchor right the way back. They've got to get back to the start line, then drag that anchor. Now that is a pretty tough anchor. That's a very big anchor indeed, and this is the difficult part of it. And we've now got well, there's not much movement at all, really, is there? Lewis McLean is going quite nicely here, but Rich Gorvin is struggling a bit, and it's gone down again. It's a very heavy chain and anchor, this. But no, I think Rich is going to be in a little bit of trouble here. He's not moved it very far at all. And Lewis McLean, this is against the course. Come on, they're saying from the sideline, but there's no rhythm, no momentum at all. He just can't overcome the inertia of this object to get it moving, and I reckon that's going to be it. Certainly Lewis McLean is trying desperately. There's 15 metres the whole journey, but Rich Gorvin's given up, and that's going to be less than 5 metres he's moved that. So he'll go down without a time. He's trying hard again. Lewis McLean has given up as well. He's almost to the 15-metre line, but he's going to try again. Let's have a look at the time, of course, 90 seconds. Time is up, and he didn't quite make that, actually. So he's got to get the anchor over the line, not the edge of the chain. So Rich Gorvin, he cut hand there, which might have been a difficult thing to take on board. Well, this is difficult enough, getting this stone close to your body to get it onto that barrel, but when you have to run back 15 metres and it's the anchor itself that has to go over the line to give you the overall time, which it didn't achieve. So it's 4.5 metres and 12.25 metres for Gorvin and McLean respectively. Rob Frampton and Jimmy Marcoux coming up now, and Jimmy Marcoux, of course, has this reputation of being pretty good all-round athlete, very dynamic. He's got good strength-weight ratio, moves well, very powerful, and he's moving that. They're both moving the stone down pretty quickly. 160 kilograms it weighs, just to remind you. Marcoux puts it there, then he's going to have a go back, then he'll have a jog back, and Rob Frampton quite happy to sort of just amble back to the start. Now here goes the chain. Now this is it's heavy to start with, and then it has to be pulled. Now Marcoux is going very strongly indeed. Now this is not a bad effort indeed, although Frampton looking under pressure. It's got to go all the way, of course, and you've got 90 seconds in which to do it. So Jimmy Marcoux looking very close to the line. He's got to get the thing over the line. He's over the line, so is the chain, but he's got to get the anchor, and there it is. I think they've it's a home and drive for Jimmy Marcoux. We make that just outside 51 seconds. 51.07 given now, but Rob Frampton is struggling. He just cannot get this moving at all. There's 15 metres to go. That's the total distance. He's probably about 3/4 of the way there, but looking very, very tired indeed.
Come on, get up.
I think he's had enough. Or will he try again? He's going to try again. It's very, very tough. There's a lot of stress in that body now. You can see he's trying desperately to recover.
That's
So he can.
time.
It's time. He's timed out. The distance, whilst we look at this slow motion of Jimmy Marku, who did pretty well to get he's the first one to get through the whole course at 51.07, and Rob Frampton 9.6 metres he achieved. So Jay Hughes and Simon Flint then coming up next.
Timekeepers ready?
Jay Hughes has been pretty tough. He got through the first qualifying pool quite comfortably, heading that, and Flint looking good and strong too.
Stay on. That's it. Go.
Let's have a look now and see what happens now. Flint and Hughes, these two. Now then, what can Hughes do? Flint is moving that pretty quickly, isn't he? And so is Hughes on the far side. Hughes is really starting to move as well. This is Flint, but Hughes is going very, very strongly. Here's Hughes. Well, he's got it moving, look. He's really got it moving quickly and he's ahead.
Get it over, get it over, get it over. There's time.
A time is, oh yes, well done indeed to Jay Hughes, and that beats Simon Flint. A very, very good performance. 36.51 to 42.43. So they're the two leaders at the moment, or rather in first and second. Look at this. That's the way to execute. Makes it look a little bit lighter than some of the others, but that's a terrific performance. Great stress on the quads there.
Athletes ready, hands
Now
on the
then,
ball.
Glenn Ross, the defending champion.
Hands on top of the ball.
What can he do? Dave Muir it is alongside him, just off the shot. Now then, there's Dave Mears on the right, just beneath us now. He's got there first. There it is. It's Muir, Dave Muir. And Glenn Ross does not enjoy the running. Now then, what can he do with this chain and anchor? It's pretty tough, isn't it? It's a very, very heavy anchor indeed. We've seen it earlier on in the competition, used elsewhere. But this is absolutely difficult, very, very difficult indeed. You're using the quads running backwards or walking backwards like that. Terrific strain on the quadriceps. And Glenn Ross has got there, and it's inside 42. It's 41.98, so that's the second fastest time. And Dave Muir is in trouble. Dave, surprisingly, cannot move this much at all. He's hardly got it going from the start line. He really hasn't. Now then, he'll try again, but this is very, very disappointing for Dave Muir. Second overall after the first two events, and he is in real trouble here, and I think that's all we're going to get from him. Is he going to have another go within the time limit? So. No, he said, that's it. Well, just another look at this. Well, Glenn Ross was pretty good at that and very good at this. 41.98, the second fastest time overall, just ahead of Simon Flint, but Jay Hughes was the fastest. And let's confirm all of that. Hughes, Ross, Flint, Marku, McLean, Frampton, Muir. Look at that. 1 point only. Only moved it 3.5 metres. The standings then, Glenn Ross in the lead, the defending champion. Jay Hughes in second, Simon Flint in third, Jimmy Marku in fourth. Well, we've got some more action to come, certainly. The Daddy Dumbbell is next. Don't miss it. Welcome back. 3 events gone. The competition is tight. The defending champion, Glenn Ross, heads the leaderboard, but he's still not home and dry. Before we go forward to the Daddy Dumbbell, let's reflect on the story so far. On to event 4, the Daddy Dumbbell, and that needs some explaining.
Yeah, this is a very technical event. The huge dumbbell has to be lifted to the shoulder and then held in one hand and pressed overhead until the referee gives the down signal. If the athlete wants to change shoulders, the dumbbell must go back to the floor and lift it through the same channels again. Once again, most reps wins.
Well, Richard Gorvin is next up. He's 22 stone. You can see that. We've mentioned that several times during the series of broadcasts on this UK Strongest Man competition. It's the width of that grip is proving very difficult. Look, he can't get his hands around it. It's almost supporting it. And at 165 kilograms, that's pretty heavy, I can tell you. And it's all about the balance too. Once he's got, it's not just about lifting it, he's got to hold it in balance as well. Look at him struggling to hold its balance. So that's 3. You can see the count in the right-hand bottom corner. The successful lifts, that is. They've elbows have got to be locked out each time. That's 4. Well, 4 given now. So that is the correct number, 4. Now, is he going to have another go? He's got 90 seconds in which to perform this. He's still got a little bit of time left. If he could get another one, then that would be quite helpful to him. Now then, he's had a little bit of a break, but it's within the time, so this is very, very difficult indeed. Look at that. He's got it up there. Can he hold the balance? I'm not sure. Well, have they given it to him? Well, he's on 5. And he's got to wait again. He's closing in on the time factor, so he's got to get this next one up. He's got 5. Well, that's what they've given him. They've adjudged him to have achieved 5. Now, can he get a 6th up? Yes, he can. He's got 6. He's got 6 overall. Now, that's a pretty good score. It's difficult to judge how well the others will go, but I would think that Glenn Ross would, with his tremendous upper body strength, would do quite well in this. Now then, what have we got here? Rob Frampton.
I think ready then? 90 seconds, start now.
Now, you heard the instruction from the timekeeper judge. 90 seconds, a minute and a half. Oh, he's got to get some balance into this first. That is the difficult. That's 1. That's 1. That's absolutely clear. That's 1. That was a very efficient press. Locked out elbow. It's trying to hold its balance. Look at this. That's the difficult bit. 2. I thought he might be told to hold it longer, because it was falling away on that, but he's still got the 2. Wow. He's changing sides on that, isn't he? What can he do? Can he get a 3rd up? He's looking very it's looking difficult. He's still got some time to go. Taking a little bit of a breather. A lot of lactic acid going around in that structure of muscles. Now then, he's gone back to his right hand. Nothing with the left hand at all. So the right hand is having another go. No, I don't think so. No, he said, I don't think so. Is he going to have another go? He's entitled to. He's got time. 2 scored only at the moment. No, he's gone. He's given it up. So 2 scored then for Rob Frampton. That's not very good, and he will know that. He really struggled. He'd moved to the left arm on one occasion, as you saw, to try and see if that would make any difference, but it didn't. It's a sort of a kinesthetic sense of awareness that comes into play when you're changing arms like that. It's okay with a double arm lift, but when you've got a 1-arm lift, then really it's your good arm, the arm that's your prime arm. If you're right-handed, perhaps your right hand, left-handed, your left hand. Well, this is a left-handed Dave Meir. 2.
Take a hand away.
3. That's better. That's better.
Down 4. Take a hand away.
That's better.
Take a hand away.
He's trying to get him to take the hand away. He's got to balance it there.
Down 5. Take a hand away there, please. Gone down 6.
6. That's good. It's better. He's not allowed to support it during the lift with the other hand because it is a balance event too. Now that one won't count. That one won't count. Still got plenty of time left. Lots of support. Lots of mouths open in the back there because this really is big strongman stuff. 6 scored. Now then, is that going to be all he's going to get? It's 30 seconds left. You probably heard that instruction in the background. So he's got 30 seconds. So he's got to now try and get one more up to try and better his situation. Yeah, that's better. Surely, will that get him? Yes, it will. That's got him 7. Now then, is he going to have another one? Yes, I think he's got another one. Well, that's good. That's 8. That's 8 gone. It's coming into the final time. He's looking across. There's no time to pick it up. So 8 scored. So that's the best so far, actually. Let's have a little look at that. Not allowed to hold the and balance it whilst during the actual extension of the arm. And the arm must lock out, and he must hold it there for just a brief moment to the satisfaction of the judge. There you go. Right, Jimmy Marcoux, what can you do? He's shown such tremendous athleticism during the course of these qualifications and during this final thus far. 1. Oh, that looked easy. 2. He's got a problem with that hand. 3. He's holding that balance early on. 4. 5.
Hand away, Jimmy, hand away. Hand away.
6. He's trying for, he's got 5. 5 scored. So what can he do now?
No, 2 hands. Pick it
no,
down.
2 hands,
5.
he says. No, you're not having that one.
Away.
Only 5. Get your hand away, and then it'll count, is what's being said.
6.
Yeah,
Hand away.
yeah, I like that. Those synergic muscle groups really coming into play here. 6 so far. Now then, the best score is Dave Muir at 8 at the moment. 7, yeah, that's good. He's changed hands, so that's 7, 8, very good. 8. There's a bit of a recovery going on here. 9, very much so. 9. 10. Oh, well done. That's it, he says. I've done 10, that'll do me. He goes into the lead. So we're coming down to those that did better on the previous event. It goes in reverse order right the way through here. Simon Flint was 3rd in the previous event, as you know. Now then, what can Simon do? 1. It's just the balance. It just will not hold still. 2, and that'll get worse as he gets more fatigued. 3. Yes, he's locked out. 3. He's got 3. Taking a little bit of a breather. Just to remind you, it's 165 kilograms. It's a giant dumbbell. That is pretty heavy. No, I'll go better than that. It's very heavy. He's still got 4. He's well down on 4. Needs to start to challenge a little better than this. Remember, 10 and 8 and 2 6s thus far. Ooh, no, just on 5. No, we've got 1 6 so far. I wonder if he can make it a 6 as well. Got 1 more to get the 6 up. Yes, he has. Yeah, that was good. He's surely got 6. Now, is he going to try for 7? Oh, trouble with the balance again, as all of them have had trouble with the balance. No. That's it. So 6 scored there. So much applause, as you can see for yourselves, but there's a little look back at what he did. Well, young and old, interested in this. I just wonder what that young fella thinks.
90 seconds starts now.
Normal people are big. Now then, Jay Hughes topped the Pool A of qualification. Now what can he do here to stay in contention?
Come on, Jay, get it balanced.
Now you heard the instruction, get it balanced. Now the balance is so vital here. And I say again, the width of that grip, oh gosh, he's in real trouble. Well, this doesn't look good for Jay Hughes. He's got 90 seconds. And we've got 10 as the best score by Jimmy Marcoux so far. He's not got that up either. Well, I just wonder whether this could be the end of the chances of this young fella. He's done really well thus far to get this far.
Come on, Hollywood, let's go.
Come on, Hollywood, that's his nickname, of course. He's struggling. He is absolutely struggling. He's got nothing. He's got to hold it up there. And he's getting very, very annoyed with himself now. 165 kilograms. And there's a look of desperation about this man now, because the time is running out. And at the moment, he has yet to score. Lewis McLean didn't score early on, and that's it. He's finished. He's given it up. Can't move it at all, so nothing scored. So it'll be in 8th place, equal 8th place. That's a shame, really. It's about getting it up there, but it's also the control and balance of the dumbbell when it gets to the top. That's disappointing for Jay. He was doing very well. But what about Glenn Ross now? He knows that 10 is the overall best score. 10, it says how many are going to beat. Yeah, you've got 10 to beat. So, and he's the leader, of course. After the first 3 events, this is the 4th event in this final, and if he were to win this, then he is going to take some stopping in defending his title. He really is. Look at this. Oh, well, this is very impressive. We've talked throughout this whole competition over the weeks about this man's upper body strength. Well, I think this is evidence. These are presses. This is not a jerk. This means he's not using his legs. He's got 9 already. He's got 1 to equal the best, changing his hand now. He's going on to his left hand, as you can see. There, that's 10. That's 11. Well, what about that? That's 12. Is it? Yes, it is. That's 12. He's won it, and that's all he needs to do. Come on, he says. Home crowd, give me a cheer. He's at home in Ireland, this man. Terrific entertainer. He's a professional strongman. He loves playing to the crowd, and I don't blame him either. Have a look at this. That was the most impressive part, wasn't it, of this event so far. Came right at the very end. 12 repetitions. So Glenn Ross, 8 points. Marcoux, 7. Jimmy Marcoux. Dave Muir, 6. Coming back a little bit from the previous one where he had a very bad experience. There it is. Glenn Ross, 29. Jimmy Marcoux, 21. Simon Flint, 20.5. What luxury, though. He cannot be beaten now as they go towards the final event. Glenn Ross has retained his title already. We'll take a break. Join us shortly. Well, welcome back. 1 event to go, and Glenn Ross, with an 8-point advantage, has already retained his title. What a competition it's been for him so far. The big man came here defending his title, and his performances, just a couple of exceptions, have been exceptional. He's loved the crowd, they've loved him, and he's come through to the final stages in an unassailable position. Flint and Marcoux, these two are in 2nd and 3rd, very much in contention. Let's have a look at the overall situation. Ross at 29 points, Marcoux 21, then Flint at 20.5, Hughes at 17.5, and Dave Muir at 17.5. Well, let's learn a little bit about the rules for this final event then. The Customs House load.
Yeah, the athlete has to load 4 items into a normal skip. It includes a stone, a chain and link, a barrel and a log. Once again, it's the fastest time wins, and they have to run around the skip as they do it.
So let's get into the final discipline. It's Lewis McLean, but let me just say we mustn't discount Jay Hughes and Dave Muir for those 2nd and 3rd places. They're both in close contention too. And should Flint or Marcoux falter, then they could well prevail. This is a very, very tough exercise indeed. It's against the clock. Richard Gorvin nearest to us, and Lewis McLean having real problems. And of course, if they fail to complete the course, then times are taken at various stages, at each of the stages of the stone, chain, barrel and log. And here comes the log at the end, and this is pretty good by Richard Gorvin, it really is. He's well ahead of Lewis McLean. If he can get this log into the skip, he's got to press it and get it over the top. Oh, he's failed it there, he's got to have another go. And still Lewis McLean struggling with that barrel. He's got the log to go, so he too is on the log. But now then, what can Richard Gorvin do here? He's got to get it a little bit higher. A little bit higher. Now then, what can Lewis McLean do? This is a big ask, isn't it? It's very, very high. He's got to press it. I don't think he can do that. No, he's gone. And so his time will be taken at the completion of the previous discipline. That's with the barrel. So 38.87 for Lewis McLean. 18.5, just over 18.5. I think it's 18.56. For Richard Gorvin there, didn't quite make the last. Rob Frampton then next to go, all 26 stone of him. He's up against Dave Meir. Meir should do well in this and starts very strongly. They've both got the stone into the skip, as you can see. Then this chain, it's awkward because of its design, its shape. It's very difficult to control. The barrel next. Now then. Frampton, Meir first, gets it in, then Frampton making a big attempt, so Meir's well ahead at the moment, and he's just got the log to go, just off your shot. Now then, what can Meir do here? Can he get the... Yes, he can. That log is dispatched with ease in the end. And of course, Rob Frampton now has the last part of the discipline, the log to try and lift it, and to try and put it above head height and into that skip. He's got to really move hard. He looks very tired to me. Being encouraged there by Dave Meir, who's, as you saw, finished. And I think, no, that's it. Rob Frampton then will be judged on his performance up to and including the barrel, which he managed to execute. But Dave Meir gets a full house by doing this. So 32.6 then that time. Simon Flint up next, along with Jay Hughes. These two. So, Jay Hughes, there he is, just waiting to begin. Phase 1 is the stone in the skip. Phase 2, the chain, and that's proved difficult for some. It's awkward shape. The imbalance of it all. There you go. Not easy to get control of the thing. That's the problem. Jay Hughes finding it very, very difficult indeed. But Simon Flint is absolutely flying. Hughes trying with a barrel. And Flint now up to this stage. Oh, yes, very, very comfortable. And Simon Flint at 28.33 really makes a real case for the second place. With just Jimmy Marcoux to come, who might challenge him for that now. Let's see, can he get this high enough to achieve? No, I don't think he can. Now, is he going to have another go? Now then, one more attempt then really is all the time will allow. He's got 28 seconds to go now. That's it. Can't do it. Jay Hughes will be marked up on his time up to and including the dispatch of the barrel. Simon Flint, 28.33. Was exceptional. That's a very, very quick time. It's the fastest time so far. And whilst he knows he can't win the competition, he's looking very strong for second place at the moment. Glenn Ross has already won, of course. Now let's see what he can do. And Jimmy Marcoux alongside him. Marcoux very much in contention for the second place. It's between him and Simon Flint really now, with the others who've not done as well as they might in the final event, those who were also in contention I mentioned earlier. But these two, well, Jimmy Marcoux going very, very strongly indeed. Now this is going to be quick if he can get this going. Well, he's got to compare with 28.33, which was Simon Flint's time, and he's got it up on the top, and that's quicker. That's quicker. That's 24.97, and that means that's very much quicker. He's beaten Glenn Ross here. But Glenn Ross, of course, just has to finish the competition. He'll want to do this. This is something if he can get the bar above his head, then surely he can press it. The big man, the champion, going into this final event, will want to succeed, and he has done. He's succeeded. It's not very quick, but he knows that he now begins to celebrate his championship win.
Come on! Come on!
Let's have a look at the scoreboard now. But that 24.97 from Jimmy Marcoux will give him the second place overall. Simon Flint will get third, and the champion on this occasion was fourth.
Glenn, many congratulations. That makes it 3 years out of 4, and the only time you haven't won, you weren't competing.
Well, it's actually my 7th British title, and the sweetest, because I'm 36 now, and totally broken man.
It's been a fantastic competition, Glenn. Do you think you will be back next year?
Told the wife no, this will be it, but you know, next week's another thing, isn't it? You know, it's hard to keep dogs down, and I'm an old dog, and I can still bark.
Yes, Glenn, but you told the wife. That's the important statistic. Glenn Ross, 34. Jimmy Marcoux, 29. Simon Flint, 27.5. First, second and third. The champion celebrates again. Who's the daddy? Well, it's you again, Glenn Ross. Good competition, good champion again, and some very good contenders too. What a good competition overall it's been. The UK's strongest man for 2007 is Glenn Ross.